strings.
Alright guys, so at the shop tonight, it is Sunday at 9 o'clock and we need to be in Denver tomorrow, basically 9 in the morning, to make the dyno day. We're also picking up the winner of the WRX at the airport and meeting them and doing all that stuff, and they're basically going to drive it back home to Texas, which you'll see more of that in that video or this video or whatever ends up happening. So tonight is just absolute thrash and button this thing up as much as we can. So we've made a ton of progress. Fuel system's done. We have the radiator mounted in here. I have the coolant lines figured out. I did that yesterday. Got the one on the bottom, need to put hose clamps on it. Just went to O'Reilly's and got this guy right here. Nice little 90 with like the perfect little bends and stuff. So I just need to weld an AN bung right here for a -6. That will go to the coolant feed, or the coolant return, basically the hot stuff out of the coolant. The next thing that I did right when I got here, I was getting ready to go to O'Reilly's, and I was like, okay, well, before I go there, let me see if I can make these heater core hoses work. So this is the one that I had on the S14, and this is another one that I got yesterday at O'Reilly's. So yeah, we got the heater core, all that stuff hooked up. We have the downpipe on. That is like in the perfect spot, so we should basically be able to make the exhaust off of that. So right now, we need to finalize mounting the ECU box in location, all that stuff, get that kind of up and out of the way. Figure out an intercooler, figure out an exhaust, put coolant in this thing, bleed the brakes on it, and the plan is I would like to drive it to the actual dyno day. I mean, I think with the tune and everything on it, it has a really good base map. I basically just scaled the injectors. If I'm able to actually take it around and drive it around tonight some, I could kind of tune it a little bit, and then tomorrow we'll play with power stuff. But man, I'm pretty stoked about this whole situation. Man, just so many things are just trying to come together. So cylinder head temp is in there, but not coolant temp. So I'm not sure about the radiator fans. I was kind of planning on having the factory ECU kind of control that, obviously because it's got these nice big thick wires right there, and these big old giant fans. It's got its own relays, it's got everything. I didn't want to mess with it, but that might be another thing that we need to figure out. But overall, I think if I just weld this, we could button that up, not have to worry about that anymore. So I'm going to pull that off, weld a bung on it, and then we're going to start plumbing up the intercooler, and then right after we get the intercooler, we're going to do the exhaust. So I'm going to quit rambling. Thanks for watching these videos. If you like the video, freaking give it a thumbs up, but we're gonna get to work. I think the last time I checked in with you or even filmed anything was it was about 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. and it is 2 in the morning now. So as you can guess, I got a lot of things done, but I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm just gonna show you and talk about it. So we moved the oil cooler up front. We mounted the intercooler right here with some Trevi's custom brackets. Did some 90s coming out of the side to this is a 3-inch core, 2.5, little 45, another little 45 right here to the blow-off valve, 2-inch coming out of the compressor housing. We have the boost controller hooked up right here. This right here is just a little temporary ground type of thing. But yeah, I've got the boost controller and everything hooked up. This is the vent. So all I need to do is give this power and then send a PWM signal from the ECU master, and we'll have boost control. We got the radiator all hooked up. We have that all nice and pretty. I welded this guy, got a 6 AN line going down and over to the turbo. We have the coolant cylinder head temperature thing right there. We have the crank position sensor thing down there. Right here we have a hose coming from basically the side of the block that goes around to the heater core stuff. Basically for this thing to kind of fill it, I went ahead and capped that off because I didn't have anywhere to go to it. And all of pretty much this is kind of this is the highest point in the system right here. So all the air bubbles should come out of here and go up into there. So we should be good in that aspect. Obviously got all the heater core stuff hooked up earlier. Downpipe is on. That was hooked up earlier, but I need to basically finish the exhaust. So For the cold side over here, we have a 3-inch pipe. We have the intake air temperature sensor bung on the bottom. We have this thing kind of mounted right here, and I'm not super stoked on the whole engine bay ECU box. Kind of the idea that's pretty much how they are in like IS300s, Aristos in Japan, GS300s, stuff like that. But that's how it was with the stock ECU in my S14, just because the harness was so short, you can't move it into the car. So I just left it in the engine bay of my S14. And this is kind of a temporary harness just because we're kind of rushing this project to take it across the country. So this is gonna work for now. We have the ECU master plug and play, kind of swiping down, and then the ECU's in there. When this is all done, this pretty much lays flat. The wires go down. These wires get kind of tucked in there, and then the lid actually goes on it. So we have, let's see, these wires need to run inside because I am going to be running that can gauge. I have the USB thing going inside already, and I think the only thing pretty much left to hook up on the ECU master is actually this. This is the wideband. So once we actually get the exhaust kind of going over there, we'll go ahead and actually hook up the wideband to it. So yeah, tons and tons of things have pretty much happened, and I'm ready to put coolant in it. So I tightened everything down. I kind of cleaned up the wiring, moved some stuff around. Obviously, this is all temporary fuse box. But you know, I think we might clean it up a little bit more. Maybe get like a waterproof one before we take it across the country. So I guess this is going to be our first gallon of water going into this thing. So I'm curious if it's going to be cool with it, or if it's just going to start leaking somewhere. Sure, coolant is all topped off. I had one line that I forgot to tighten down there. Started dripping, and it's been about probably 3 hours because I made a custom exhaust. So the brake switch, I need to put a little spacer in there or something. Basically, it thinks the brakes are on all the time. But look at that, factory exhaust on both sides. Basically, there was kind of like this square Y pipe, whatever you want to call it, and this right here. So this 2.5 basically goes into here, and then it kind of goes into a chamber where it's just a box, and then it has two 2.5s going out of it. And I basically just made my own little plate and then stuck a 3-inch in it off the downpipe. Well, I made my old exhaust off the S14. There's some remnants, so I guess let's fire this guy up and see what it sounds like. Oh no. What have I done? What have I done? Mistake. So air fuel ratio is actually working right now. So you can see it's super, super lean. The boost vacuum isn't hooked up to anything. You can see when I rev it, it gets really mad to no fuel. It won't get over 102 degrees because the cooling fans are basically locked on high. But listen to this thing. It's literally like dead silent. It's crazy. Sounds just like it did with a 4-cylinder. All right, so I figured out why the alternator was squelching so bad. And the factory alternator on a JZ is 100 amps. Factory alternator on an EcoBoost is 200 amps. Obviously because of the electronic power steering, and the wire going to those fans is just huge. So I want to give this thing a rev, and then I'm probably gonna cut off one of the mufflers. So let me know what you guys think of it. This thing sounds so lame, but it's light outside, 7 in the morning. We basically should be on our way to the dyno right now. The alternator just doesn't like charging this much stuff, I guess, so. crazy to listen to it because it's just silent. So first impressions of driving it. It has like no timing in it. It's basically 12 degrees, 12 or 14 degrees, like full boost, which was, I think we hit, it was showing 24 on there. It's probably hitting about 10 pounds, I think, because atmospheric, you got to take that away. But yeah, so it was a little bit lean at first. And so what I did is I just scaled the injectors are in here is 1,000 cc's. I just basically told the computer that it was that they were 800 cc's, and it seemed to basically just bring the air fuel right to where it is. And that's just a quick way of just kind of tricking it. So coolant temp's 195. It's showing 187 on the dash on the cylinder head temperature. RPM in it. Oh, I didn't even see if the freaking speedometer works. I don't know, maybe I'll just have to look at the video. I'll go back in a second. I'll probably go drive it in a second again, but we'll see. I'm gonna play with a couple things on the computer. But I guess it's better when you rev it out a little bit. I can hardly see anything. Still think that's only about 12 pounds. The wastegate freaking screams right open. Air fuels and everything are looking pretty good. All right, guys. So I don't know if you could tell, but I'm pretty tired. It's 9:40 in the morning. Ty just got down here. He woke me up because I was taking.
You're sleeping in the.
I was taking a little bit of a nap, and I was doing it just to be funny, and then I actually fell asleep. But I went and drove it around for probably 30-45 minutes and filled it up, and it feels really good. It just sounds, man, I hate the way it sounds. But otherwise, the cooling system, if one of the fans is running, it won't get over 160 degrees when you're driving it, or even when it's just sitting there idling. And it has a 180 degree thermostat in it. But everything turned out pretty good. I mean, what do you think? It's kind of like,
I mean, it's in there. It's clean.
It's like OEM-ish. It's kind of crazy. I can't believe, like, when that fan is on, literally you stick your hand in the bumper and it like your hand gets cold, like, because it's just like pulling so much air.
It's a big old fan. And
that's only one, and there's another one down there, and that one goes crazy too. So need to figure out an intake. Gonna cut off the exhaust. Ty is actually gonna go pick up Kenneth, the winner of the WRX, and bring him down here. We're gonna show him the shop, show him this crazy thing, and I'm gonna go get a shower and take a little bit of a nap.
What's up, guys? Good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this. As Trevor said, you guys just saw, you stayed up all night getting the Mustang all tidied up and everything. So I went home about 1 a.m. just so I could get some sleep, because I'm actually currently heading to pick up Ken, the winner of the WRX, from the airport. So I'm gonna pick him up. I'm in the WRX right now, so I want to see his reaction. You guys will get to see it firsthand too. And then we're gonna head back to the shop, show him around a little bit, some of the projects, get to know him a little bit, talk to him, and then he's actually gonna road trip this thing back home to Texas. So we'll have him post his Instagram and stuff, and we'll get some updates hopefully on his drive. But look at this thing. This thing has just been smooth as can be. And right now we're getting almost 35 miles to a gallon on the interstate. And so, I mean, for a 300 horsepower all-wheel drive car, that's pretty good. I would say that's not too bad. So the more I drive this thing, the more I like it. It rides pretty good on the BCs and everything. Obviously, they're a little stiff right now, so it's a little bumpy, but you know, they're 32-way adjustable. Just click them down and they ride great. So excited to see what he thinks and give you guys an update. So stay tuned. Hello.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Ken?
So I just got out the plane and I'm going to baggage claim to rendezvous with my friend.
Okay.
Because we rode different planes and he's here already waiting for me at the baggage claim.
Okay, cool. I'm at like the waiting lot, so I'm gonna head towards the pickup line. So.
What car are you in?
Actually, in the WRX. So.
Oh, okay, cool.
Cool.
Awesome. That should be easy to find, the blue one.
Yeah. All right, man. We'll see you in a sec. All right, guys. So you just saw that was just Ken, the winner of the WRX. He actually just landed. His buddy came with him as well because they're gonna road trip it back. So we're gonna pick him up and we'll grab his first reaction. So there he is. I'm gonna pop the trunk for him.
What's up, dude?
How's it going? Am I being on camera at all?
Huh? Yeah, you're good.
Tyler. So this is Ken. Right?
What's up, guys?
And this is going. Tyler.
So I'm Luke.
Luke, nice to meet you. So,
All right.
car man, this is it. What do you think?
Freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah. So cool. Like I said, we're just gonna pick him up from the airport, and then we're gonna head back down to the shop, give him a tour, some of the projects and everything, hang out for a little bit, and then they got a little bit of a drive. It's about 14 hours for you guys back home or something. So cool. Well, I just did, about 2.5 up here, so we'll be cruising real nice. So
I still can't believe it.
Yeah, that's nuts. How was the drive?
oh, the drive is fine.
Oh man, I took a nap.
Did you get a good one?
I took a little bit of a nap. Yeah, the shop is just destroyed. It's completely destroyed.
Yeah.
You want to see the 2J Mustang?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you don't. Well, I guess you've been around the Subaru for the past couple hours.
Yeah. Good little change of scenery.
All right, guys. So we are here with Kenneth, the winner of our 2017 WRX. What do you think?
It's freaking awesome.
Does it feel real?
Yeah.
And so he got entered to win the Supra. And what did you say about the shirts?
Shirts are super soft. They feel amazing.
And that's why he came back, and he likes WRXs. So he actually has a BRZ. We mentioned that in the live stream. So anyhow, showed him the 2J Mustang. He's been watching the channel for a little over a year now. So now we're gonna take the WRX for kind of a first reaction drive because he's basically been riding with Ty. Ty picked him up in the airport in it, but he's just basically been riding passenger. So we're gonna go do that. And then come back here. I'm going to give him the title and the cash, and then he's going to head back to Texas. So you ready to drive through the night?
Yeah, let's do it.
You're going to pull the trick like us where you just drive all night.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go.
Co-pilot.
I'm going to miss this thing. I guess I should give you the keys. So what's it like having a turbo now?
It's awesome.
Have you had turbo cars before?
No, it's my first turbo.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So the Sears BRZ.
Yeah.
So BRZ, it's basically the similar engine, FA20, but this one is turboed basically. So you're really familiar with. I'm sure it feels similar being a Subaru.
Yeah.
But now you actually have a turbo. We got the cob access port. We got the intake and the exhaust on it, as well as the BC Racing coilovers. So it's a sick little daily. Like it's like the perfect thing. It's 4-door, throw all your buddies in it, and it's like still cool.
It's comfortable. It's quick.
Yeah. And
it's brand new, practically.
Pretty much, yeah. And look at that, 36 miles a gallon.
Yeah.
It gets like crazy mileage, like for what it is, because it's direct injected. They could go like leaner, so it's really good on fuel consumption. If you want it to be louder, you could throw on like a catless J pipe on it. So it'll basically delete the cat, or you could get like a high flow cat, and that'll make the tone of it a little bit louder too. So if you want the exhaust to be pretty loud, but I think it sounds really nice right now. What do you think?
Yeah, it sounds great, dude. I like the Gretty exhaust.
And the turbo?
And the turbo sounds freaking awesome. It's my first turbo, so.
Yeah. So you're gonna be addicted now.
Yeah.
So like, that's how I was like when I first got my first turbo car. It was like after that, like everything had to have a turbo. Like no matter what it is. Yes. Yeah, Matt, so what do you think?
I'm stoked right now. Super fast. It's an awesome daily driver. I can't believe a regular guy like me can win. You know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He got entered, so that's
Play
kind
to
of
win.
that's one of the things that I kind of like to portray is that, or like to say is that, you know, if you don't play, you know, you're never gonna win. And so he said the only other thing he's won before was a hoverboard.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. But yeah. So there's the title.
Thank you guys.
2017 Subaru WRX and 3,000 cash.
All me, right?
So there it is.
She is. No, she is.
Awesome.
And your
dude.
car. Yeah.
Your
And
car.
my car.
Actually, no, you have the keys. You already have the keys.
Yeah,
I
you already got them.
was gonna hand you the keys. Man.
Hey, everybody checking for the keys. Who
Yeah,
got the
you're like,
keys?
uh-oh, where's the keys? Uh-oh.
I got a key.
Later, man. Drive safe. All right, boys. And just like that, Project Build giveaway number 3 is under wraps. So yeah, again, congrats to Kenneth. He is headed back to Texas, and if you know, again, I'd like to have you guys show a lot of positivity and support towards him, and absolutely no negativity. You know, everybody has the opportunity to kind of get entered into these things, and you know, he did it and he won. So everybody, let's congratulate him, and I'll put his Instagram tag if you guys want to follow him in the description. We are kind of kicking around a lot of other ideas as far as other giveaways. We've talked about doing a merch drop, or not a merch drop, like a car build for somebody. We've talked about giving away a more expensive car. We've talked about not giving away cars at all and just doing a merch drop. So let me know what you guys think. I really do appreciate every single one of you guys for getting entered. Pretty much everything should be shipped out by the end of the week. We're getting our last restock of orders. Some stuff was kind of back ordered, and that stuff should be back in stock this week, and should be going out before the end of the week. So again, appreciate every single one of you guys for watching and supporting the channel, watching the videos, buying the merch, you know, even commenting and liking the vids. They just, you know, that helps a lot. Another night of not really filming a whole lot of stuff, but buttoned up a lot of stuff with the engine bay, engine box. See, I got that representing ECU master, got the sticker on there. Got the plug and play tucked down in there a lot better. Made some room for some more things. Spent some time and actually just made the wires just a lot better. I also ran the wires for the CAN gauge, which is that BTI gauge, which is really cool. I ran an air filter, bled the brakes because the brakes were pretty sketchy. There was some air bubbles in there, and check this out. So hop in here. Look at my new gauge. So, and then this, it has a bunch of different pages. I like this one a lot. So you can see we got air fuel and the map sensor, all that type of stuff, which will be really nice. I think the map sensor still, or the air fuel is still heating up right now, but yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and back this thing out a little bit, put together a little bit more of the interior, get that a little bit more dialed, and then I think that's about it. Put the little shifter thing on here. Don't worry about this, we'll talk about that later. And we're gonna drive to Denver in the morning, so get stoked. Yeah, look, there fuel is now. And then the other thing I could do with that gauge is actually tie it to the wheel speed sensor, like an ABS sensor, because the speedometer in the car doesn't work. I thought I was gonna go off ABS sensors, so I could basically take that input into the ECU master and then convert it, and then put a little page on here where it's kind of like my cruising dash, where it's like RPM, air fuel, boost, all that type of stuff, and I'll actually have my my speedometer and stuff, which that'll be really nice. So yeah, gonna go ahead and back this thing up, button up some more interior stuff, and then I guess that's gonna be it. Oh, I also cut off the muffler. Just a little bit louder now. Okay, I was gonna drive home. It's just so funny to see this thing like all together. Yeah, she's the PTI gauge. Cylinder head temp, we got it all. We can even still see the fuel gauge down there on the bottom. So hook up the Bluetooth stereo. We're gonna drive home.